started. All right, welcome everybody. It is Sunday, November 13th, 2016. Welcome to our Sunday weekly webinar, where I'll be going over all of the pairs on the right side of the screen that you guys see over here. Give you guys a brief overview, give you guys my outlook, as well as answer some questions, and we'll look at like some targets and some of the favorite pairs that I'm looking at. So without further ado, guys, normally I go ahead and jump right into looking at the economic calendar, but for some reason, the economic calendar is actually down right now. So this week there is a lot. If you guys have had a chance to look already, there is quite a few economic events going on this week, but nothing crazy, right? Just your normal week of high and medium and low impact news, all sorts of just pieces of information that measure the strength of an individual, currency or economy. So just keep your eye out for them. Those are there, but we're going to be pretty much focusing on the technicals, of course, this week now that the elections are over. So just to briefly talk about last week, guys, we did have a little bit of a rough week last week. We did have I personally had a bias that if Trump won, it would have a pretty negative outlook on the dollar, and if Clinton won, it would have a pretty positive outlook on the dollar. And I think most people had that pretty much unanimous decision and unanimous bias across the board. But things happened and we got surprised, and markets actually reacted pretty positively to Mr. Trump winning. So we're going to go ahead and like the saying goes, guys, you trade what you see, not what you want to happen. So we're seeing the markets react positively to Trump. We're seeing the dollar continue to strengthen. We're going to be looking at the dollar index also first, and so we're gonna take advantage of that, and we're going to be looking at buying the dollar, longing the dollar this week, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start off. Just some quick updates, guys. Like I mentioned just before I started recording, to all the premium members, you guys can definitely look forward to me being on Zoom every single day. Especially with like right now, the USD JAPY trade, we're almost up about 30 pips on the trade. I'm really looking, once the resistance breaks, which we'll get more into, I'm looking to re-enter on the MAM. So when I do re-enter on my live account and on the MAM, I'm actually going to hop on Zoom this week. We're going to be doing like live analysis, going through the processes of the actual trades. I just want to make it more interactive for you guys, and we're going to be focusing on not just the higher time frames, but the lower time frames as well. So it's just going to be just a lot more trades and just overall just a lot more energy in the group moving forward. So with gold, guys, we'll start with gold. I am biased to the downside now with gold. I still think that we still have some further downside. You guys, on early Friday, I had still mentioned that I think that that's when I had changed my bias to buying the dollar on a positive outlook for the dollar. So I said gold could probably still head down further. So I'm still expecting it to come down and meet the lows at 1,200. At that point, we'll probably be looking to get into a buy position. But for right now, I think there's better risk to reward with some other pairs that we're going to be looking at. But let's see, looking at it on the 4 hour, I think, if a position sets itself up, I think we could still take a sell on gold. But you guys will see that I think there's some better risk to reward trades, but there's definitely still downside to gold. And what I have marked off right here is this green box is if we do see a pullback. If we do this top green box around 1260 is if we see a pullback around the 1250, 1260 area. I think this is where you could look at selling. If we also fib this out, let's throw a fib on here. So we have the 38.2% fib retracement of this big move. And then also I'm more focused on kind of this area that we had focused on. If you guys remember, about 2 weeks ago, right, we were playing in this range, and this line right here at 1260 was kind of like the middle, kind of like our pivot, if you will. We were, let me get the annotator out. I'll kind of draw it for you guys. Right, we were playing down in here. Oops, let's make this a little thicker. We're down in here, and then it kind of went above to the pivot and pivoted above here. And this middle line, 1260, has kind of played as like a key level for gold, broke up, did its thing up here, came back down, saw some consolidation around this level. So I think this is a good selling level if price does retrace, and that's going to be a more conservative setup. However, it is kind of forming a flag. So it could just break the lows, right? If you could have a sell stop below the lows, with your, maybe like a stop loss around. So you could have like a sell stop around like the 1220s with a stop loss around like 1235 and targeting like 1200s. And that would give you good risk to reward. But that's just kind of my overall bias on this pair. Moving on to the dollar index. I've moved the dollar index up because I want to talk about this. Very important. Actually, as we speak, you guys can see it's actually rallying quite high. So I'll start on the daily, show you guys what we're looking at. The way I analyze the charts too, guys, if you guys are new or just looking at my analysis for the first time, I identify key horizontal levels of support and resistance on the daily time frames, and I kind of just look for bounces or breaks of those levels. And I keep it pretty simple, just like that. And then, of course, I use like Fibonacci levels, Fibonacci extensions for targets once we're in a trade. But for right now, I don't actually trade specifically the dollar index. I don't buy or sell the dollar index. I just use it as a reference. And right now, what I want to look at is at 99.10, we have this high. And last Friday, we still hadn't broken it, but you guys can already see this week we're starting to break it. So on a break of this, that's very good. It's just good overall to look at the dollar index to see how other things are going to correspond to it, how the dollar index is going to react. If you see the dollar index going up, euro dollar is going down, right? See, they almost look like the exact opposite, and very similar with gold, right? If the dollar index is doing good, so this measures the strength of the dollar, then gold is doing bad. So this gives you conviction or confluence that gold is going to continue to the downside if the dollar continues to strengthen. So we'll look for, and I am still biased to the upside, guys. I think that this resistance will break. And I think so. And it might not be like a super clean break like this. It might come down and bounce, but it might do something like this. Let's put on the daily. Let's come down a little bit. Might do something like this. But I think it'll definitely rally into the hundreds. And then let's throw it on the daily. I think somewhere in this area, long term, we could look to see some more resistance. So this could be like your first target. And then if it breaks through there, we could see it go higher. But then eventually, I think longer term, once we go into next year, once Trump actually takes office, I think there'll be a lot of uncertainty on the dollar. And that sentiment is going to create a sell-off on the dollar. So I still think we could rally up, though. There's still some opportunities to buy the dollar personally. Euro dollar. So this is the bias. So long-term, guys. So basically, since I've positive traders have been around, we've been talking about on long-term this euro dollar bearish flag that has been forming on the grand scheme of things, right? This giant bear flag. So long-term, we've been like essentially had a swing bias or a long-term bias to the downside. Looks like that downside might complete sooner than we thought, right? It might be coming pretty soon. You guys can see I have right here long-term sell goal. I think down in this area is where we'll start to see some resistance. And then we could look to buy to the upside and play. And then this will act as a key level of support. Might not happen right there, might happen over here, but this just kind of marks off just so you guys have a visual. And then these red lines are just key levels of support where we'll see some sort of resistance some sort of support at, and a strong impulse after we break it. So you guys can already see last week, right? And I guess it's actually happening this week. This is today, right? The last Friday. You guys can already see price came down to meet the support area. This zone right here, this zone right here. Now it's breaking it. It should at least see the 107 area. And then from there, maybe go test like the 106 area. And then from there, look for opportunities to buy. But there's still, you know, a solid 100, 200 pips of selling potential inside that area. USD chafe, it's been forming flags, right? It's been breaking up higher with a long bias for bias of longing the dollar. This moves similar to the dollar index, right? If the dollar index moves up, USD chafe is going to move up for the most part. All right, that's more than 90% of the time. This green area that I have marked off is kind of like this consolidation. This has been kind of like a key level for this pair for about a month now. This is on the 4-hour. So once we break it, which we are right now, like as we speak, you know, kind of this whole zone, we could pull this up all the way up here too. Once it really breaks like this zone, we can see some impulses higher. But I think we will definitely see parity this week, which is one to one. So 1 Swiss franc for $1. But this pair has played respectively in this range. So it would make sense for it to come back up to test at least this area. And then once it does come up to this area, I think just like the dollar index is breaking resistance, I think this is going to break resistance, and then we'll see a move higher. Pound dollar, guys. Pound dollar is very interesting. I don't think people were expecting the pound to gain so much strength so quickly, but I think it still could go higher. If we throw it on we're actually on the daily. I just have some key levels marked off, guys. This is a range we were playing in with this flag that we broke out of. And let's actually paint this off. Right, we were in this flag right here, broke out, hit the former resistance, now support, and I think we could come up to see the 127.80 area, 128 area, which is essentially this zone, guys. This zone where we had this major support where we broke. I think we'll see it as resistance now, and that's where we could have some good conviction to sell. This dotted line that I have, it played as key. If we actually put on the 4-hour, played out very nicely when we were up in that area. Let's clear out the lines so it doesn't look so confusing. Right, this line is what I'm talking about right here, guys. You can see it worked really nicely. Also, if we fib this out, I think what I was looking at was an extension. Let's see, yeah. There were a couple pairs that I was looking at with the extension. I think this may have been one of them, or maybe it was the pound yen we're going to be looking at next. Maybe this was the 50% retracement. Let's see here. Yeah, 50% retracement. So you guys can see also there's some conviction. You can see right here the 127.65 area. There's some conviction to this large move, long term. All right, you guys can see the 50%. And so this pair it's very interesting. I think definitely in your trading journals, put the 127.80 area. That's a very good area to look for a long-term sell. But I think there's still upside, guys. Definitely upside buy with a conviction of buying the dollar. I think that there's definitely conviction to the upside. Let's delete this. So any sort of pullback, like even right now, would probably not be a bad time to be selling the pound. Right? Any levels where you see, any areas where you see, I'm sorry, buying the pound dollar. Any areas where you see conviction, right, where it kind of bounces. You see back here, guys, right? right here. We're playing in this area. We break out, we come back right here. You know, you had this line right here. So you know this could have been a good area to buy in the past. So now you've kind of marked off this zone. Now you've broken it. You're coming back down. So probably anywhere in here is probably going to be good to buy for it to go up again. All right, so we'll probably see that impulse sometime this week. Let's move on to pound yen. All right, pound yen is very interesting. We got stopped out of a sell last week, I believe. I think that we still have higher to go because of this significant trend line. This trend line that we have right here got broken. You guys can see right here we have a break of it. More specifically, too, it looks really clean on the 4-hour. So this is that trend line that goes way far back. This green box, guys, let me just be clear. This green box, this was originally our sell area, right? 132.50. That was originally our sell. That was our extension. That's where we saw a full extension, 161.8% level from this move down here. Okay, that's where we had originally sold. We got stopped out of. Kind of surprising too, right? Most people weren't expecting this level to be broken, and it did. We have a really, really clean break though. Some nice price action, right? A break. Let's paint it out. A break, a retest, right? Engulfing candle. Now we're having some consolidation. So I think any sort of consolidation, it's kind of like consolidation acts like a spring, guys, and the tighter it gets, more like a V shape, or yeah, like a V shape. I guess triangle was the word I'm looking for. It has more like power behind it. It means that it's either going to like shoot up or shoot down one other way. But we know based on price action, right? We know based on what happens more than 50% of the time is these flags usually represent consolidation before more of the initial move. So we have a good conviction to the upside still. So I think the pound yen could still move up higher. And this move up here, guys, 138.92. That's the next high that we have. But let me fib out. What were we looking at? Let's see here. No, maybe it wasn't this pair. I'm still trying to find a pair that I was working on with the extension. It may have been the pound yen that right here, but I thought that there was a new target that I was looking at with the pound yen. But regardless, guys, I think there's still some major upside moves, major upside potential to the pound yen, just like there is with USD Jappy, which we'll move to right now. Let me just check out a couple questions came in real fast. Jonk and sorry guys, I can only see like the first two letters. So it says Axe. How do you draw fib extensions, and then how effective is extension fibs? Well, if you guys don't use Fibonacci in your analysis, just Fibonacci in general, Fibonacci retracements and Fibonacci extensions, I think that you're definitely missing a key thing. I can give you guys a book too. If you guys want a book like specifically on Fibonacci, I can give it to you guys. It talks about price action and Fibonacci, but it's very important because essentially what Fibonacci uses is Fibonacci is a sequence of numbers, guys. It means it's like taking a number and multiplying it by like itself, or multiplying it by 1 and adding 1. And you continue to do that, and it's like 1, 1, 2, and it's really, I mean, it's not very important to know that sequence of numbers or why it's important. It's just important to know that Fibonacci just essentially means that history like repeats itself. It's like a mathematical like algorithm of proving history repeating itself, and that's the best way to put it. And what Fibonacci is it just is key levels of support and resistance, and it measures out just institutional levels of support and resistance. And it's kind of hard to explain. I don't really know any other way to explain it if you don't know what support and resistance is, or what institutional means. Like everybody does it, or it's very well known, right? And you just are using swing highs and swing lows. You're just using like key levels on the chart of highs and lows to identify future points of support and resistance. And extensions are used once a retracement is completed to maybe identify like a future level. Right. So like just looking at this chart as I'm talking about this, right, I see this, see if we have this marked off. If this was an extension, or I'm sorry, if this was your Fibonacci, right, price was all the way back here and you were trading this up and price broke through here, then you might say that this up here, the 161.8 level, is maybe a target for a long, right? But then you go and you see, you don't just use Fibonacci extensions, you use price action and support and resistance. I personally use a combination of these tools to identify or to analyze the markets. But Fibonacci plays a huge role, especially in long-term trades. So moving forward, guys, on AUD/USD and NZD/USD, a lot of people think that these pairs are going to bounce. I think that we're actually going to see a break. Okay, I think that we're done playing in this range. I think that the bears have taken a lot of control. The candles are very, very bearish, right? Especially after like this bearish candle. We still have only had just one big bearish candle after this exhaustion candle. I think we still have some pretty big moves to the downside, and we can still see like the 74.50 level broken. And that wasn't necessarily so last week, right? Our analysis changed on that as well, right? Last week, let me look at, I'll backtrack to AUD/USD, but last week, guys, was a very key level. Right here, let me draw it out. Right here was a key level for us last week, right? This green box marked, this as a PRZ, a potential reversal zone. We saw some major support in this area. We took a buy. I'm sorry. We ended up that support ended up getting broken. We hedged the position, and we just got out of it on the MAM with a small loss, about 1% of the account loss, but we're in a USD Jappy trade making up that 1%. So it's not a huge deal, guys. We're going to make a huge gain on the USD Jappy. But I think that the support on NZD/USD has been broken. I think we'll see some further decline. And it might not be so sharp like this all week, guys. We did see some major, pretty quick declines. We could see a small retracement back up into this area and then a sell again. So I'll look for more confirmation, but until I take another sell. But I am interested, once we do have a clean break of this support level, selling it for some solid pips, some solid gains. Same with AUD/USD. So both these pairs, keep your eye on for support to be broken. Last week's lows, wait for them to be broken, and then look at getting it into a sell. We have 7 questions over here. Let's see. Retracements I use, just not extensions. Jonk, if retracements, you said you just use not extensions. Extensions are very similar. They're a key level of support and resistance, but they're just past the 100%, right? They're an extension because it's past the retracement. It's an extension of the retracement. John, you said golden ratio. Yeah, guys, literally just Google what is Fibonacci, and it's a mathematical sequence. It's an algorithm, guys. That's the best way to put it. It's kind of confusing. It's like, how does it relate to the charts? But it uses measurements in the charts as an algorithm to give you levels of support and resistance. That's the simplest way to put it. And then, yeah, you said, please share the book. Yes, I'll post the book, guys, into the Positive Traders Dropbox, and I'll post a link in Telegram once it's in there, but it's a great book. So look for those to sell, guys. Let's go ahead. Can't keep moving forward. USD Jappy, very interested in this pair, guys. Nice. It's making some big moves right now. Okay, so guys, in the premium group, we got in a buy, right? We got in a buy at, I'm going to delete this. We got in a buy at 109.63, right? So we're actually about 32, with the spread, about 30 pips up right now on this pair. Okay, so very solid price action with this pair. I love the way it's moving right now. I wish we could have gotten in a little bit lower down here, but it's okay. I'm looking to re-enter once the resistance is broken, which is right here. Right, very clean price action on this pair. Wait for the resistance to be broken on like the 1 hour, and then wait for a retest. Wait for some price action. I personally, the price action that I love, guys, is like on a retest. Let's say like there's your resistance, and here's your retest coming. The price action that I love is when you see a hammer, whatever you guys want to call it, pin bar, exhaustion candle, whatever. Right, a hammer, and then you see an engulfing candle. That is my number one move. Okay, after that, once that candle closes, okay, on top of resistance, okay, or even if it's support, right? Let's say that's like the bottom of a channel, right? That's support. Wherever you're looking for a bounce off of, right? Wherever you're looking for a bounce, this price action is key. You can buy after, you can buy right there once this candle opens. And generally you have good risk to reward to the upside. As long as this wick isn't too low, you have a couple options, right? You can put your stop loss to half of this candle. Okay, some people do that, half of the candle. Some people, if you, I'm sorry guys, give me a second. Sorry. Some people, depending on your risk management and your risk to reward, you can afford to put your stop loss below the actual low, right? So this is like a sort of, oh wow, and look at it just shoot up right now as we speak. I just want to take a peek at the MAM. Yeah, the MAM's at $1,700 right now. We just made 2% on the MAM. So yeah, so we're gonna. This is a solid trade, guys. Definitely some great moves to the upside. I hope you guys are taking this. We're up some very solid pips right now. I think our first take profit, is at 107.50. So we'll look for 107.50 to get hit. Who else is anybody in this trade? Anybody else in USD Jappy buy? All right. Well, let's see. Oh wow, yeah. NZD USD just absolutely just shot down too. Very nice. Yeah. So if you guys are in the hedge, we've got some trades. So already lots of money being made this week. USD CAD, guys, I think USD CAD is going to keep going higher. Do I think USD Jappy is going to come down? No, I don't think USD Jappy is going to come down. I mean, if it does, it'll come down to retest where it just broke out of, right, the 106.90 area. But I think I'm bullish on USD Jappy. And finally, guys, USD CAD. Definitely, I'm not in a buy, but I'm looking to buy. Looking at the extension, 161.8 extension. That's also not bad if you actually throw the fib on here too, from the top. Right, give a good bird's eye view of it. So the 50%. So right around here, guys. Right, see the 135.80 area basically, or the 50% retracement right here. Okay, and then we also have the 161.8 extension right here. So in that area, I'll look to sell USD CAD, right? But for right now, looking at a buy still on USD CAD. But do you guys see this week? Holy cow, tons of money to be made. It's just like free money. It's like you really pick any pair this week. This is really like the weeks you have to wait for. Like these are the weeks we're going to capitalize on. Like any pair I've just talked about just made a major move in every single direction. Except the pound. So guys, look for this. I mean, this already shows you the volatility that the week has started with. So be careful trading this week, guys. Look for, I mean, my pick is USD Jappy. Holy cow, it's still going. Just like rocketing up. It's about to hit take profit 1 on the MAM, guys. Really nuts. Really exciting. So guys, that's it. Do you guys have any questions? I mean, that's pretty much all that I have for you guys. I'll show you guys the MAM too. I'll show you guys the MAM. New share. FX choice. Boom. You guys can see on the MAM right now, we're about to have some solid profits. I told you guys, it just takes a little bit of patience, right? Probably get back in. That's all we got to do. If Yanni, what zone is USD CAD hitting before looking at a sell? A little bit, definitely a lot higher. You have opportunities to buy USD CAD, if anything. Let's see. Somebody else asked a question. Brian, you said, are you going to post another trade for UJ? Yeah, I mean, it's very volatile. You guys can see how quick it's moving right now. So yes, I mean, if it comes down, I'll post another trade for UJ. But I am gonna. It's about to hit take profit 1. So at take profit 1, we'll take profit and look to re-enter. E5 530 says, do you analyze on weekly? Yep, every single Sunday at this time I do a weekly analysis on all these pairs. And then starting this week, every single day in the premium group for all the premium members. What hour should we use for USD Jappy? Wait, hold on. What hour should we use for USD Jappy? What time frame should we use for USD Jappy? Probably the 1 hour or the 4 hour in this case. All right, but does anybody have any questions? Because I'm pretty much, we pretty much covered it. You guys have the moves. You guys have the setups. This is recorded. It'll be on YouTube very shortly. We've got the profits already being made. You know, I'm gonna get on Zoom later. We're looking at some more trades this week, but markets are already moving in our direction. Things are already getting pretty volatile. Sam, so you said we buy all week on USD Jappy. At least until I was on a buy until it got to 107.50. I mean, you have to understand. Check it out. In 5 minutes, guys, it went up 30 pips. Right? That doesn't normally happen. So I wasn't necessarily expecting that. So nobody was expecting it to just like rocket up real quick. So we'll monitor to see what happens at 107.50. But yeah, I mean, I think it could easily see the 108, 109 with this kind of momentum. It could still propel all the way up there. So my eyes are on it closely though, guys. All right, guys, that's all I got. Gold, remember, like I said, gold, you could take an aggressive sell once support is broken. It's actually making a nice price action, right? You guys see like this, like these tails, kind of like this exhaustion candle, engulfing candle. might hint that it's ready to, might be making some more moves to the downside. So remember, guys, also last little nugget I want to throw out to you guys is, remember, USD JAPI generally does the opposite of gold. Okay, so if gold, so those are two things that you can use to kind of help gauge. So if gold looks like it's going to like break support, like right now, even though USD JAPI made some moves higher, right? When you look at USD JAPI, it made some big moves. It could probably continue going further because gold still hasn't even really made its big move yet. It still hasn't really broken support and gone down to the 1200s yet. So that move could be a catalyst for USD JAPI's resistance to just keep going, to absolutely go. We could see USD JAPI just break. I think its average true range has been well over 100 pips lately. So that's how many pips it moves in a day on average. So we could see some power moves on USD JAPI. But yeah, my bias on USD JAPI is bullish until you see some bearish momentum on the daily chart, like a exhaustion candle or something. But that's it, guys. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate all you guys. Wow, somebody was just like, I just made 600 pounds or 600 euros on USD JAPI. Thanks. That's awesome. I'm glad you're making some money. So, all right, guys. And then also for all you guys listening, if you guys want some more information or you guys want to join the managed account, which you guys just saw, that account that's about $2,000 up on that trade right now. It's about 140 people that I manage an account for. You guys can join by going to www.positivetraders.us. And you can join the premium group and you get free access to the managed account. I don't take any percentage. I don't profit share anything. It's just $69 a month for the premium group, and you get 5 to 10 signals every week. You get the live analysis and live trading from me, and then also like the education in the back office and the free managed account service. So that's it, guys. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll catch you guys on Slack and Telegram throughout the week, but I'll see you guys later.